Welcome, everyone. Today, we're going to explore the multiple choice section of the IELTS reading exam. Let's take a look at a typical multiple choice question format you'll encounter. On the left side of your screen, you'll find a passage. Your task is to read this carefully. On the right, you'll see a series of questions related to the passage. Read these questions thoroughly, then refer back to the passage to select your answers. At the top of the page, you'll find specific instructions on how to respond to the questions. Let's learn the key points and the strategy to tackle these types of questions. Let's discuss the structure and format of multiple choice questions. Firstly, it's important to know that the questions typically come in order. This means that if you're looking for the answer to question 2, you'll find it somewhere in the passage after the answer to question 1. This structured sequence can help you navigate through the text more efficiently. Multiple choice questions in the IELTS usually present 3 to 4 options, labeled A, B, C, and sometimes D. Only one of these choices is correct, challenging you to use your comprehension skills to pick the right answer. A useful strategy here is to eliminate obviously incorrect answers. By using logical reasoning to rule out the options that clearly don't fit, you can narrow down your choices and make your decision easier. Now, let's talk about how you'll submit your answers. If you're taking the computer-based IELTS test, you'll simply click to select your answer choice directly on the screen. This method is quick and ensures that your responses are recorded immediately. For those taking the paper-based exam, you'll need to physically mark your selected option, be it A, B, C, or D, on the provided answer sheet using a pencil. Make sure your markings are clear and within the designated space to ensure they are correctly scanned. We're going to introduce a very effective strategy to approach multiple choice questions in exams. This strategy is called the CRISP method. CRISP stands for check instructions, read the questions, identify the right section, study the passage carefully, and pick the answer. It's a simple yet powerful way to ensure you're covering all bases when tackling these types of questions. First, let's talk about the C in CRISP. Check instructions. Whenever you face a multiple choice question, the first thing you should do is read the instructions very carefully. Instructions guide how you should approach the question and what exactly is being asked. Never assume you know what to do. Always check to avoid simple mistakes. Moving on to R. Read the questions. Before diving into the passage, read the questions thoroughly. This will give you a clear idea of what information you're looking for, which helps in efficiently finding the right answers. Next is I. Identify the right section. In many cases, especially with longer texts, not all parts of the text will be relevant to the questions asked. Use your understanding of the questions to pinpoint where in the text you should focus your attention. This step saves time and increases your chances of finding the correct answers. The S in CRISP stands for study the passage carefully. Now that you know where to look, read those sections very carefully. Pay attention to details and understand how the information presented relates to the questions you need to answer. Finally, we have P. Pick the answer. After carefully studying the passage, choose the answer that best fits the question. It's important to trust your understanding and reasoning to select the most accurate option. Remember, the CRISP method is not just about finding the right answer. It's about understanding how to approach and analyze multiple choice questions effectively. By remembering this model, CRISP, and applying it to every question, you'll enhance your ability to perform well on any test. Let's apply the method to a multiple choice question. Step number 1 is to check instructions. In this case, the instruction says to choose the best answer from the options in each question. This instruction is straightforward and clear. Step number 2 is to read the question. The question is, what makes solar energy a particularly sustainable choice? The 4 options are its ability to generate heat, the reduction in air pollution it offers, its minimal reliance on mechanical parts, and the decrease in greenhouse gas emissions. Let's identify keywords in the question. We do this to find the right section of the text to read. In this example, we use solar energy and sustainable choice as keywords. Step number 3 is to identify the right section. Scan the paragraphs to find the right section to read. We are looking for either the exact same words or synonyms or paraphrases of those words in the text. So we have solar energy and sustainable source. In the question, we have sustainable choice. In the text, we have sustainable source. Instead of the word choice, we have source. Now that we have found the right place to read, we move on to the next step of our CRISP method. Step number 4 is to study the passage carefully. Okay, let's start reading. Solar energy is becoming increasingly popular worldwide as a sustainable source of power. This form of energy relies on capturing sunlight with solar panels, converting it into electricity that can power everything from small appliances to entire neighborhoods. Not only does solar energy reduce dependence on fossil fuels, but it also significantly cuts down on greenhouse gas emissions. Okay, let's move to step number 5. Pick the answer. Let's find the answer. What makes solar energy a particularly sustainable choice? The text says, not only does solar energy reduce dependence on fossil fuels, but it also significantly cuts down on greenhouse gas emissions. In answer option D, we have the decrease in greenhouse gas emissions. Therefore, the answer is option D, the decrease in greenhouse gas emissions. Even though there are other options like the ability to generate heat, the reduction in air pollution, and minimal reliance on mechanical parts, the text does not talk about those things. Note that the answer option says decrease, but the text uses the synonym cuts down. Okay, now it's your turn. Attempt question number 2. You have 90 seconds. Okay, question number 2 is what development enhances solar energy's reliability? The growth of larger solar farms, improvements in solar panel efficiency, advances in power storage technologies, and increased government subsidies for solar projects. The answer is option C, advances in power storage technologies. Now, let's focus on the question. What development enhances solar energy's reliability? In the text, we have one of the primary issues is the variability of sunlight due to weather conditions and day-night cycles. This means that solar power is not reliable because we can't use sunlight all the time, as it changes with the weather and day-night cycles. To address this issue, the question asks about the development or enhancements used for the reliability of energy. This means we need to identify how we overcome the variability of sunlight. The text states, to address this, advancements in energy storage technologies such as batteries have been crucial. Therefore, advancements in energy storage technologies are used to overcome the problem of sunlight's reliability. The last part of the second paragraph says, these storage solutions enable the power generated during peak sunlight hours to be stored and used at night or during overcast conditions, enhancing the reliability and practicality of solar power for continuous usage. Here, the text directly mentions that the advancements have resulted in enhancing reliability. Thus, the answer is option C. If you look at the other options, here the question does not talk about any larger solar farms or improvements in solar panel efficiency, or governments giving subsidies for solar panel projects. So we don't have anything about those answers in the text. Therefore, we can eliminate those answers directly. Now go ahead and start practicing these questions. We are excited to invite you to our free weekly IELTS workshops. These sessions are designed to help you excel in your IELTS exam with two main objectives. First, we offer live question practice. Our interactive sessions allow tutors to conduct live question practice. This gives you real-time experience in tackling questions with expert guidance. Second, we provide live tutor interaction. You can get immediate feedback by interacting with our tutors to clear any doubts. This personalized help allows you to ask questions and receive tailored advice. Don't miss out on this opportunity to enhance your exam preparation at no cost. Join us every week and take a step closer to achieving your goals.